I'm honored to represent two distinguished military installations, Whiteman Air Force Base in Fort Leonard Wood in our district. As you know, the Chinese spy balloon that penetrated our airspace last year flew above Whiteman Air Force Base, the sole home to the B-2 stealth bomber and soon to be home to the B-21. General Guillot, I want to start with you. The Chinese spy balloon last year highlighted disconcerting gaps in our all-domain surveillance and system of sensors that protect our homeland. What steps has North Command and NORAD taken to eliminate these gaps and mitigate risks?
Congressman, I outlined three immediate steps that have shown promise and have been successful in identifying balloons that in the past we probably would not have seen. First and foremost, my predecessor, General Van Herk, directed the radar sensitivities to be adjusted, which would allow better detection of low radar cross-section, slow-moving, and high-altitude objects. Although it introduces some clutter in the system because it's the system is receiving more, it does allow us to detect threats like the one that you just mentioned. Second, when our operators see intermittent hits that in the past would be passed off to usually weather or other phenomena that would cause an inconsistent hit, they're now continuing to track those more carefully and more consistently to ensure that it is not a balloon or some other phenomena. And third is better domain awareness between the other combatant commands. As we get JADC2, the all-domain command and control system, the ability to share data from one combatant command to another instead of stopping at a black line on a map that divides the regions, now we can seamlessly share that information electronically to increase our awareness further away from our shores.
General Richardson, you've highlighted the attempts by the People's Republic of China in our hemisphere, the investments they've made. What is their end game in these investments?
It's to gain a foothold in all of the critical infrastructure. We've seen it. It's not new in just South America and Central America and the Caribbean. It's happened in Africa and in Europe as well. So
but this is an intermediate step for what end?
So I look at it as their way. In this region, we worry about basing for the PLA and as we have seen in other areas. But I look at the state-owned enterprises and the ability to be able to flip the use of that to possibly military application being sort of a basing strategy through critical infrastructure in the region.
And if we were to become in a conflict with China, this would be very useful for them.
And that's my concern, is exactly that.
Ms. Zimmerman, have members of Hamas or Hezbollah crossed our southern border, and if so, how many?
Congressman, I think I would have to take that back to get you rough numbers from DHS, since they have the lead on securing our nation's borders. But I'd be happy to talk to you in general about our
But have they crossed? Just without a number, can you give me any information on that?
I can't speak to that. As has been said earlier, I know that there are members of the terrorist watch list who have been detained while crossing the border.
Back to General Guillot, what is the current nuclear threat in space from Russia?
Congressman, the threat of nuclear weapons in space, primarily from Russia, is a constant and real concern. If I could, I'd like to address the specifics in a closed session.
If there is an actual threat, should Americans know about it?
Congressman, I think that it's important for all Americans to know of the wide variety of threats that face the homeland in all domains.
Thank you for that. I appreciate your service to our nation. With that, I yield back.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Smith.